So we do have some good news, okay, on the Polish Ukrainian front. On the Polish Ukrainian relations front, we do have some good news. The border of Ukraine and Poland. A very costly protest. Ukraine has lost a lot of money due to it. A lot of vital things for Ukraine have been blocked. Thousands of trucks stuck at the border. It was a very it's a very not good situation, which also strained the Ukrainian Polish um, relations. But it seems like the Polish government has managed to, at least for now, struck a deal with the protesters, and the protesters have, for now, left their protesting post. Okay? There we go. Euractiv, the Polish truckers suspend protest after reaching deal with the government. We'll read this one. Oh. Polish truckers suspend protest after reaching deal with the government. Polish truckers will suspend their protests at the border with Ukraine against liberalized operation rules for their Ukrainian counterpart until the 1st of March, according to the deal they reached with the government. So the protest may still be back in March, I guess, but it's still better than nothing. It's still a deal. A deal's a deal. It's better than nothing, right? So so. Uh, Polish drivers who began their protest last November demanded that the EU reinstate a requirement for Ukrainian companies to obtain permits to operate in the bloc, a system which has been suspended due to the ongoing war in Ukraine. We have an agreement that has been awaited not only by Polish hauliers but also by many entrepreneurs in Poland, the European Commission, and Ukraine. Infrastructure Minister Dariusz Klimczak said at the press briefing. The outcome of the agreement will be the discontinuation of protests at the road border crossing in 3 towns, Korczowa, Hrebenne, and Dorohusk. While the protest is suspended, the intensive and constructive dialogue between the government and protesting drivers will continue to give a concrete result, Klimczak insisted. So it's not exactly a completely solved issue yet. The agreement includes, among other things, legislative work aiming at changes in national law, proposals of amendments to the EU-Ukraine agreement and monitoring of the implementation of the agreements made by the Polish side with the Ukrainian side. Klimczak thanked the protesters for understanding how important the proper and uninterrupted functioning of road border crossing is to ensure an uninterrupted supply chain, but also public and traffic safety, as quoted by the Infrastructure Ministry. Hello, Ginger Snaps back. Tomasz Borkowski of the Committee to Protect Transporters and Transport Employers said that certain conditions have been agreed and the protesting truckers will now give the government time to work as it is a new cabinet. The protests started under the previous conservative government of the Law and Justice Party, which as a result of October's election was replaced in power last month by a broad coalition of centrist and leftist parties, led by the new Prime Minister Donald Tusk. Edyta Ozygawa, one of the leaders of the truckers' protest in Dorohusk, warned that should the conditions not be met by the government, the protest will be resumed. Klimczak appealed to Ukraine to fulfill as soon as possible all the agreements included in the signed agreement, which are the responsibility of the Ukrainian side. Later in the day, he discussed the issue during an online meeting with his Ukrainian counterpart, Alexander Kubrakov. Kyiv complains that the blockade has caused serious economic losses and has hampered its war effort, which is not an unreasonable thing to say, all things considered. Yeah. The key reason for the growth in the number of transportations by Ukrainian hauliers is the response to the consequences of the Russian armed aggression, Kubrakov said. So yeah, we've got some good news at last. At last, we've got some good news. Okay? Which I like to see good news.